Hey friends, welcome back here. So in our modern worlds, finding the energy to do what we want to do has become a huge problem. People are struggling to find the energy to do whatever matters to them the most. So today, I'm going to help you figure out the secret to finding the energy to do what you love to do. So let's get started. Alright, so I want you to start with refiguring how you think about energy, the way you think about energy. So I'm going to map this problem of energy to the model of demand and supply. So in the demand and supply model, you have a resource that you are modeling. In our case, it's energy. And there is a demand of that energy. There are things or people or just whatever it is that is trying to use that resource. And on the other hand, you have the supply, and the supply supplies the resource. So you have a source of that resource and you have a sink of that resource. It's coming from one side and it's going to the other side. And with this model, we have two important realizations about energy. Because it is a resource, so the first thing is that it is a finite resource. At any given moment, you will have a finite amount of energy available to you. And the second important realization is that whatever you do, any task, any action you perform, it will consume energy. So you cannot assume that you are just sitting there and you are using no energy. So what you want to do is that you want to keep these two things in mind, and now we will move on to actually figuring out our real problem. So the problem is that you cannot find the energy to do what you want to do. Alright, so there can be two problems with your energy expenditure. The first problem is that you have a supply side problem, and the other one is that you have a demand side problem. Now the supply side problem is that you have a less supply compared to what your demands are. And on the other hand, you have the demand problem, which means that there is a greater demand than the supply. Now you might say that this is just the same thing said in different words, but essentially it is not the same. There is a subtle difference. Now I'm going to try to map this towards energy and tasks. So when you say that you have a supply side problem, it means that your energy is less than what you need to do your tasks. Whereas if you say that you have a demand side problem, it means that you have more tasks, but your energy is all right. So one of the most common problems that occurs when you are trying to manage your energy expenditure is that you just have an overload of unnecessary tasks. Now what this means is that generally people are trying to do too many things that are not things that they want to do, not things that matter to them the most, but they do them anyways. These things include scrolling through social media unnecessarily, scrolling in zombie mode, especially when you're not creating any content, you are just consuming the content that is being produced, consuming content that is not meaningful to you. Because we know that every task requires energy, a lot of these tasks will require energy that is very precious to you. And the solution to this problem is to eliminate all these unnecessary tasks. If you're just looking for some hints, try to reduce your social media usage, try to reduce your TV time, and just you will find that you have more energy. Another very common problem with energy expenditure is that people try to multitask very often. Now what this means is that, for example, you are trying to write an essay, but at the same time you are checking your email, and then suddenly your phone rings, so you go to your phone and pick that up and see what's happening. So you realize that your friend just posted a new picture on Instagram, so you go there and then you start scrolling your Instagram feed. And then you realize that, okay, I was doing that essay, so you come back to your essay, and then you're just constantly switching between these different tasks. Everything is useless. You should not be doing all those things. What you should be doing is that you should have specific times, or if you don't like to set specific times, you should just decide that, okay, right now I'm going to do this one thing and nothing else. Whatever it is, whether it is writing an essay, checking your email, scrolling through Instagram, or bringing stuff from the market for your mom, whatever it is, you just need to do that one thing at that exact time. Nothing else should be done at that time. Now what this does is that this eliminates the constant switching between tasks, and also because you are eliminating that switching, you are also eliminating the extra energy and time spent on that switching, and this will leave you with a larger amount of energy that you can then spend on more meaningful things. The last two problems that we identified were from the demand side, but what if we try to look at the supply side? Well, there is one thing that we can do. Now, a lot of people have this habit of constantly consuming their energy. Yes, we all consume energy, we all do tasks that require energy, But have you ever thought about that there could be tasks or there could be some things that will recharge that energy? Well, yes, there are things. So, for example, going for a walk in nature. If you have a park nearby, you could just always use your break times to go to that park, take a walk in nature. Similarly, a lot of people recharge their energy levels by meditating, by praying, by reading, by exercising. You just need to find that one thing which will recharge your batteries, and then you need to do that thing whenever you are feeling a lack of energy or whenever you have free time. Moreover, it is actually a good habit to keep a high energy reserve when you start your day. And this can be done by having an early start to your day, taking proper breakfast and a balanced diet, taking exercise, and also having at least 7 hours of sleep every night. If you don't take proper sleep and proper rest, you will end up waking tired. And when you are tired in the morning, you will have a lesser amount of energy in the beginning of your day, and then as you start consuming that energy, you will have zero energy very early in your day, and you will feel even more tired, and the cycle continues, and then one day you will either get sick or you will just need to rest for a really long time, like 14 hours. And this constant variation in your sleep times is a huge problem. This will not really be good in the long term. Alright, so that was how I believe that human beings should find the energy to do what matters to them the most. So you should always just keep a balanced diet. You should have a proper exercise routine, not like going to the gym, but just move around a little. Also, you should try to reduce the unnecessary tasks that you're trying to do, like always checking your phone, checking your social media, scrolling through it unnecessarily, and also try to avoid multitasking because it consumes a lot of energy and destroys your productivity within seconds. So try to avoid it as much as you can. Yes, there might be circumstances where you have to multitask. Try to reduce it as much as you can. And also, when you're trying to find the energy to do things, there is no need to blame yourself that, hey, I have been lazy. It's okay to have a few lazy days as long as you're making progress, as long as you're trying to get there. It's all right. It's all making sense. Things will fall into place. No need to belittle yourself. No need to degrade yourself. Just try your best and then reflect on what you can improve upon and then take action to improve it. So, yeah. And always remember that energy is a limited resource. Try to conserve it. Try to direct it towards the meaningful things that you should be doing. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.